So people are financing hamburgers now. Really? That's the scandal of the day. Let me guess. Next week, we're going to be worried about people leasing their French fries. Once again, the internet heard half of a headline and ran full speed, creating an outrage. But me, I brought receipts. So let's break this down all the way when it comes to this DoorDash Klarna deal. Let's go.
Welcome to the Financial Mirror. Where future success is reflected in our knowledge of fixing the one thing we can control, ourselves.
Welcome to the Financial Mirror, and thanks for joining me today as we continue to work to improve the one thing that we can control, ourselves. Here at the Financial Mirror, it is not about the numbers and spreadsheets alone, but about transforming and educating you on money so that you can make smarter financial decisions. If this is the first time you're joining in, don't forget to hit subscribe on YouTube to be notified of all the new episodes as they release. If you're listening to this on Rumble, don't forget to follow the channel and like the video. And on any podcast platform of your choice, don't forget to like and subscribe to the podcast. So I have seen all over the internet that DoorDash and Klarna, and I'm guessing I'm saying Klarna, right? I'm guessing it's not Klarna. Klarna is what I'm guessing, but I may be wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong. But they have created this deal where DoorDash is allowing for a payment plan on things purchased through their app, right? Tons and tons of things all across the internet of people really bashing this thing when it comes to buy now, pay later at DoorDash. There's just tons and tons of information out there about this. Now, here's the real issue. So you see all that, you see the headlines, yada, yada, yada. But here's the facts. DoorDash announced a U.S. partnership with Klarna, right? And that's going to do some different things, right? It's going to provide a few different options, whether it be that you can do pay in full, which allows customers to pay for what they love right away using Klarna's seamless payments experience. Pay in four, which allows 4 equal interest-free installments to pay for their goods, or the pay later, which allows you to defer payments. And this is directly off DoorDash's website where it talks about the partnership and all those great things. This was March 20th, so you can see it's fairly recent. They talked about this, but this is really where all of this came from. But the thing is people saw that and social media went nuts. Everyone from TikTokers to YouTube shortists to any of your favorite personalities, all were screaming about financing a Big Mac. Every one of them. All were saying the same thing. Oh, we're financing our Chipotle bowls. We're going to do... But here's the thing. Nobody's talking. I've seen nobody talk about this. But here's the thing, is that this isn't new. Oh, shocker, right? Shocker. This isn't new. This is DoorDash's second time kind of going through this. First time being back in, you guessed it, March 8th, 2022. So just over 3 years ago, Dash Now, Pay Later, DoorDash launches partnership with Afterpay, which was another buy now, pay later, right? So that was in Australia that they did that. And this tells us two things. First, this likely worked, and it had to have worked well enough to justify rolling it out again, this time in the US, right? This first one was in utilizing the Australia market. We are proud to be partnering with Afterpay and leading the way in buy now, pay later payment options for delivery apps in Australia, right? Like this isn't new. And that's what's so funny is that people blew this up, but DoorDash isn't doing this randomly. This is a business move and obviously has aligned a business decision with a market demand, right? 3 years ago, if this had not worked, this whole new Klarna thing would not have even come to existence. There is overhead that comes with that partnership, right? Whether it be new infrastructure, new people to manage the application, the connectors, all those things are required to work. There is overhead that comes with that. This is a business decision. Now, a couple of things that are out there is that, Klarna has a ton of users globally. DoorDash has a majority of market share in restaurant delivery in the US, right? Klarna is talking IPOs. Like, this is a very strategic partnership on both ends, right? Buy now, pay later is surging across every time you go to a checkout. And I've done episodes in the past on it. Every time you go to a checkout, buy now, pay later is becoming an option, right? So what I'm saying is that you should fact check before you just flip out, okay? Because what a lot of folks are missing is that DoorDash doesn't just deliver burgers first and foremost. So while everyone's flipping out about financing your burger, it's not about burgers and burritos. Like, they deliver groceries, they deliver pharmacy items, they deliver pet food. Guess what? They deliver retail goods like Best Buy, CVS, all those things. Like, you want a $1,000 TV? You can use Klarna, right? For equal interest-free payments on your $1,000 TV. It's not a $4 burger. It's a $1,000 TV, right? Like, I think people are missing the point of what DoorDash offers. So either A, they've never used DoorDash, or they've only used it for their food, and they've never looked at the extreme, use cases of what DoorDash can be used for. But it's not about a $4 burger, but it's so funny that that's where everybody went to. Second, it's funny that this new conversation point blew up when 3 years ago, DoorDash did the same thing. So if someone is splitting up their $150 grocery bill for their family or whatever, I'm not saying I agree with it, but that's a far cry from financing a hamburger, right? Splitting up your $150, $300 grocery bill is far different than saying you're financing your cheeseburger. Okay, so let's be honest. Buy now, pay later is not something that I'm for. Okay, so I'm going to get to that. But it's just funny that this whole thing is what I like to call manufactured outrage, right? All these people across social media, all these viral creators, they needed something to scream about. And this week, it's the Klarna burgers, okay? So and maybe this video, maybe you're going to watch this and be like, all you're trying to do is manufacture some viral thing. And I'm not. I'm actually hoping that I'm just the one person out here that's screaming, hey, this isn't new. Let's not go crazy. Let's look at what they're doing. And I mean, it's no different than you go into Amazon and financing your purchase through Amazon. If you bought a TV or you bought a bunch of groceries or something off of Amazon, a bunch of food products off Amazon or anything else for $100+ and you financed it, what's the difference? What's the difference? It's because DoorDash started in the business of grocery and fast food delivery, right? That's where they started. And I think they actually started in fast food delivery and they moved into grocery. Beside the point, they've expanded their portfolio. Tons of things are out there. And buy now, pay later partnership makes sense. It makes sense, and it's obviously worked. 3 years ago in Australia, it worked just fine. US has a huge market for food delivery. Okay, so as always, if it sounds crazy and you heard it from the X or the TikTok, dig a little deeper, right? Dig a little deeper because there is definitely some fire and fuel being combined here to just create an explosion. Okay, so it's interesting. Now, all of that's to say that I believe that this is manufactured outrage, that people are blowing up and creating viral videos and shorts and TikToks and all that to get people really animated about this thing. Okay, so that's step one. Step one is that I think that's manufactured, and I think people are getting livid and are really for no reason. Like, just if you don't agree with it, just uninstall the app and use Uber Eats or something. I don't know. But all I'm saying is that it seems manufactured. Now, let me be clear. Now that we've established that I think it's manufactured, let me be clear. I don't like buy now, pay later. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I don't like buy now, pay later. Okay? Not because of DoorDash, not because of Klarna, not because of Afterpay, but because I think buy now, pay later creates the illusion of affordability. And that illusion is how people get trapped in debt. So while I agree with the business decision that DoorDash did, that they piloted something in the Australia market potentially, and I don't know, I'm not the head person of operations or rev ops or CEO or nothing. Like I'm not. I have nothing to do with DoorDash. But it sounds to me like they piloted it, it worked, and now they're bringing it to the U.S. market, right? It worked. So I'm not against that. I think I think it's genius, right? You tested it, it worked, boom, go make money. But buy now, pay later in and of itself, I don't agree with. Like I said, it's an illusion of affordability. If you're financing anything besides your home, what you really need is a reset, right? You need a reset, not a new payment plan, because buy now, pay later encourages people to think short-term immediate gratification. If you cannot buy something in full, like you can't just buy it, you probably can't afford it, right? You probably just wait until you can afford it, right? Just wait. If your groceries cost more than what you can afford, we've got to figure out a better way to get cheaper groceries, right? Like you can't go finance your groceries, right? You've got to be able to afford your own lifestyle, and buy now, pay later allows people to live outside of their means more easily, right? It normalizes debt for everyday purchases and just allows for you to feel like you're going to be okay. But it's so easy to just keep on financing until the point you're in over your head. So if you can't afford it in full, you shouldn't be buying it. Buy now, pay later. It's marketed on interest free. But when you miss payments, you get fees, you get all these other items that come with it, and it does get expensive. Like I said, I've done episodes on buy now, pay later before. It is the new credit card. It is better to delay gratification, build that discipline, budget, make sure you can afford it, and then go buy it, than to use the BNPL, the buy now, pay later, because there's always a cheaper in-budget option if you'll look for it, whether that's cooking at home or waiting till you get paid again or whatever the case is. There is an option for you that will allow for you to really make a difference. So the bigger message here is that, the episode is not just about Klarna and DoorDash. It's about you. It's about how you process financial information in this age of like hot takes and headlines. How do you slow down long enough to make sure that the data that you're consuming is, first off, accurate, right? People talked about the DoorDash Klarna thing, and it's not that it was inaccurate. It was misleading. It was misleading that people are financing cheeseburgers. Like, that's misleading. Like, people are financing everything. Like, let's be honest. Let's not boil it down to cheeseburgers. Like people are financing everything, and it's not healthy. It's not a healthy financial practice for you to finance everything. Just like 10 years ago, it wasn't healthy to put all of your purchases on a credit card, but we normalized it by saying, oh, you don't want to miss out on your rewards and all those things. And we normalize people putting things on credit cards, just pay it off by the end of the month and you don't get charged interest. Like, we normalize that. And now we're normalizing buy now, pay later by introducing it into everyday purchases like groceries and pet food and all these things. Like, it's normal at every checkout. Interest-free payments, it's normal. We are normalizing it, right? But it's how you process financial information when everything is going to be a headline. Everything's going to be a new way to make money. Everything's going to be a new way to save money. Everything's going to be a new way to invest money. Everything is going to be about your personal finances and how do you get through all of that to what actually is going to be better for you. So here's what I want you to remember. First off, I don't want you to ever think when social media is saying something that it'll convince you that the sky is falling. Okay, that's number one. Number two is always ask, who is profiting from this outrage? If I can create viral videos and get a lot of people to watch it, who profited? You made nothing off being outraged, but the person that got a bunch of people riled up definitely made money off you being riled up. And then the third thing, that's number two. And then the third thing is just take a few minutes to verify, research, think critically, because when I saw this, I was like, something seems fishy here about this whole DoorDash thing. I did a quick Google search and I saw that article about their partnership with Afterpay 3 years ago. And I was like, what nonsense is this? People getting all riled up in the last week about DoorDash and Klarna, right? Like, this is not new. This is old news, right? So listen, if you follow the loudest voice in the room, you might just end up broke and misinformed. So take a moment, do a little research yourself. Make sure what you're looking at is factual. And B, don't get outraged about business decisions ever. Like, who cares? Who cares if Klarna and DoorDash create a partnership? Don't use the buy now, pay later feature on anything. That's what I would tell you. So I'm here to say businesses are going to continue to experiment with buy now, pay later. If they can get some, so for the business, improving affordability makes you use their app more. So if they can make things feel more affordable from the consumer facing side, they're going to make money. Klarna on the back end, from the financing perspective, they're hoping that you don't pay those and you get charged your fees, interest, whatever. This is a mutual business decision, right? Mutual business. And I'm sure there was some stock changing hands for an IPO and all that. I'm sure there's some back end deals going on for why this existed. But what I'm saying is that, no one's forced to use this, but there is money being made in this decision. There is. They're hoping that DoorDash is hoping, and probably has already seen with Afterpay in Australia, that people buy more when they have the option to finance it. These financing companies or buy now, pay later companies, they're hoping that you take on more because it's so easy to do, right? And then you get over your head, you have these fees, whatever. So you get to decide what works into your budget. It's your budget. It's yours. You get to decide what you want to spend your money on. So I challenge you. Decide what you can afford and live within your means. Don't get caught up in buy now, pay later. Don't get caught up. Nothing that DoorDash sells is for your better financial health. Let's just say that. If you're buying takeout, if you're buying groceries, if you're buying retail store stuff, it's a convenience app. Everything there is a convenience. You can go to those same retailers, same restaurants, same fast food joints, whatever, and pick up those items yourself. All you're doing is financing the convenience. That's really it. So buy now, pay later, regardless, not a good place to be financially. So know your limits, own your choices, stay curious, not just constantly clicking on the next clickbait item, the next little, viral TikTok or whatever. Just stick with basic, fundamental financial principles. So I hope that you enjoyed this episode. I'm hoping that this is something that will get out there, that people don't get all worked up about this whole financing cheeseburgers thing. It's pretty ridiculous, if I'm honest. So I hope that you got something out of it. It's a shorter video than what I usually do, but I just wanted to get this out there this week because this is all I've seen everywhere I've looked at with new personal finance news and things going on. It's all, for some reason, been about DoorDash and Klarna. So anyways, maybe it has something to do with the IPO. I'm not sure, but stay tuned. I continue to do personal finance videos every week. So just continue to tune back in and we'll see what we got going on next week. So I hope you enjoyed the episode. Hope you got something out of it and that you took a little bit from this and how you can improve your personal finances. So till next week, continue improving the one thing you can control, yourself. Peace.
Well, that wraps up today's Financial Mirror. Join us next week as we continue to work on ourselves, change our mentality, and to commit to achieving the success we always envisioned. Regardless of your platform, help us grow as a community. Please like, subscribe, and share with the people in your lives.